I was just set up. I didn't realize what was going on until I was in the middle of it. I need to talk about it right now because it's fresh and I'm still shaken by it. But I'm tired. I want to start this off by saying I am in my right mind. I am completely sane. I do have plans for my future. I would never take my own life. I do think that I'm too pretty for that. I'm just going to be very honest with you. I think I'm way too attractive to die. And no parts of me are insane. I had been sitting somewhere for about an hour when Spirit said to me, look over your shoulder. I looked over my shoulder. I didn't see anything, but I know if Spirit's saying it, look again. So I kind of craned a little bit and I could see that a truck had pulled up and was in my blind spot, but parked across the street from me. And it was just me and this car on this block. That was it. So I went back to recording for about another hour, and then this truck left. Now, though Spirit had told me to look over my shoulder and pay attention to that truck, I had been watching the pattern of another truck that had been circling. It circled 3 times within the hour that I had been sitting there. The first time it turned down the alley. The next time it came around the block, it turned down the next corner. The next time it came around the block, it went up 2 blocks and turned every time, making a right turn and eventually coming back around to the street that I was, but with plenty of time in between. I noticed the pattern. The truck that had been parked in my blind spot was a silver truck. After being there for about another hour, it left. I noticed that. I kept recording content, editing, doing all types of things, and then the silver truck came back. This time, it parked in front of me. What triggered me was not that silver truck. It was the black truck. It came back again. But what it did this time when it came down the block, it slowed down at the silver truck. And I noticed that. And for the very first time, this black truck parked on the block I had been sitting on, that now this silver truck was also sitting on. It parked in front of a house. And I thought, nah, it's time to get footage. I get the license plate on this truck that's in front of me, the silver truck. Then I pull up next to it as though I'm pulling off. I keep my phone down on the side of me, and I wait till I get close enough to that truck, and I pull my phone up, and they immediately slouch down in their seats like this and cover their heads, or they did something like this, you know, which is always suspicious. Not that you don't want to be recorded. That makes sense. No one wants to be recorded. But this is the city of Chicago. If some stranger walks up to your car while you're sitting in it and starts to record you, they would naturally expect to be shot or to get an ass whooping. Period. The people in that car would not be shrinking. Not in Chicago. Shrinking. We're about to see what's good. So the fact that they were shrinking, that really kind of lit me up. But since I got the footage, so when they shrunk, I couldn't get any footage. So I got out of my car and I walked around with my phone to the front of their car. I stood in front of their hood and I got footage of these 2 white women in this car. One young, one old. So I get back in my car and then I pull up on that black truck, get that license plate, and start getting footage of the 2 black women in that truck. Cool. When I pull off from the black women in the black truck, I'm going down the street. I see the silver truck now flying down the street behind me. This is the smoke I have been waiting for. I pull my car over and I jump out the car and I'm like, what's good? What's good? Because I'm ready for whatever. I am ready to have a conversation about why this shit is going on. I'm ready for whatever. I realized, like I mentioned in the previous video, that now that I have collected this footage and I have gotten something that most people never get, and that is a clear picture of the core group responsible for my targeting campaign. Now that I have that, these people don't know what I'm going to do with this information. They don't know who else has access to it. And now they have doubled down on getting to me. For whatever reason, it is imperative of them to, I guess, drive me crazy until I lose my shit and, again, put myself in position to negotiate either my freedom, my sanity, or my sexuality. Either way it goes, it's not going to happen over here because now I know. But the woman pulls up and the first thing she says is, "You're getting footage of my minor child." To come at me and try to say that I'm doing like trying to get footage of a child is crazy business. However, what I am trying to do is to figure out who the fuck you all are and why you're following me. Therefore, I'm willing to give footage of you wherever you decide you're going to follow me. She says she's going to call the police, which is fine for me. I don't give a fuck. Because I've been targeted for too long not to know that anybody in public you can get footage of. Anybody outside, you can take a picture of them or video of them. The County of Cook, City of Chicago, State of Illinois doesn't cover your privacy if you're outside of your house. Trust me, I know that because I've tried to report the police on people who are recording me in public. Did you also know that in Chicago, if your blinds or curtains are open, it is legal for someone to walk up to your window in your house and record you in your crib? I learned that when catching a neighbor recording me in my house. Recording me in my house. Later on, I came to find out that someone had paid her to do that, and she was collecting footage for other people. Here's the deal. When me and this lady were standing on the street going back and forth, and she was calling the police, and I was telling her, let it be what it is, what I never noticed was a little red car had been sitting there the whole time. Nobody ever got out of that car, but they let their window down just a little bit and they put their phone out of the car and they were collecting all that footage. And I believe that was the point. The point was to get footage of me losing my shit. And I don't know why anybody would want that, but that was the point. And here's my response to that. You cannot put anybody in a cage for any period of time and expect them to act like a normal human being. I have been in this campaign for so long, and I haven't given y'all any beef, but now I'm willing to fight you motherfuckers back. I'm going to do my damnedest to get to a safe space, to get the fuck out of this city. And now that I have this information, I'm going to prosecute y'all to the fullest extent of the law. I have gotten something golden. And you don't know who else has access to it. You don't know who has it and what I'm going to do with it. But you had better know I'm in my right mind and I would never take my own life. I am making this video today because I need y'all to know that they just doubled down on me. I'm going to keep creating content, but as a targeted person, I know what I have. And now that I know what I'm dealing with and what they have on the line, I am telling y'all right now, these people will attempt to take me out. The white woman, it was 2 white women, the white woman who I got into it with said to me, I hope somebody pulls a gun on you or you get into a car accident. I sent that energy back to her 10 times, 10 times 10. And that is when I noticed that little red car was recording me. I will not be your bird in a cage. I will fight you back. Now that I know who you are, we're going to play fair. It's on.